Hey Nashville fans, we're back here at AfterBuzz with Season 5, Episode 7 called Hurricane. We've got Young Love, New Love, Rayna and Deacon trying to get their album going, and a question for Valentine's for everybody. Does it hurt? Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to AfterBuzz tonight. We're here for another Nashville talk. I'm one of your hosts, JJ Jurgens. You can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter, and I'm joined here tonight by these two beautiful ladies.
Hello everyone, I'm Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
And I'm filling in tonight. I'm Lacretia Lyon, and you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
Awesome.
Thanks for filling in.
Yeah, thanks for she's a huge Nashville fan, so we're gonna have another perspective, a new perspective tonight, which will be fun and fresh for the panel.
Yes.
All right, so I guess let's start talking about Maddie again.
Maddie. I like these sister moments between Maddie and Daphne. It was like we're slowly getting them every episode, but I like it. It's a nice, soft, sensitive side of Maddie, I guess we get rarely, but it's nice.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene in the whole episode, was their little sister moment in the bed. That was cute, and it really kind of tied in, everyone else is having relationship drama. It's nice to have this cute little relationship that you really root for, the sisters.
I agree. It's so nice to see them not fighting and being snarky to each other again and get so the line that doesn't hurt got us all a little bit tonight. 'Cause I came in a little late because, like Rayna and Deacon, I had actually a work bowling event tonight, so I had to bowl for a second before getting here. So I thought when I came in, I'm like, did I miss it? Did they have sex? I missed it?
No.
But I didn't.
I'm glad we're not the only ones that had the mind in the gutter, because that question just came out of so left field. We're like, what is she talking about? That does it hurt? It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how Maddie, I think, we had the same mindset as us. She's like, is she seriously asking that? Oh no, love. Okay, good.
But now you felt her response was a little bit morbid. Talk a little about how you felt about what she shared.
Yeah, about, it's kind of like having someone else like sewn to you, and then if they rip off from you, you break up, that it's still taking a part of you. And I was like, that's pretty messed up, Maddie.
It was. It went to almost like a Silence of the Lambs, like a weird kind of like serial killer sort of like. Yeah, because I think she said takes their skin off and puts it on you. Whatever.
It's very graphic. I was like, I think Maddie needs to be in love with a few more guys to really know what it feels like.
Yeah, and maybe pretty graphic for that age too. Like could just be like, you care about them a lot, or
I get the metaphor of like you feel like something's being ripped apart from you, and like you're torn apart literally. But I think that was a little too literally figuratively.
Yeah, maybe just like getting stepped on. I mean, I don't know. There could have been some other ways. Yeah. She just
like
really
there's
went to
a void in a hole in your heart that cannot be filled. Something like that.
So now we also, speaking of Maddie, we kind of thought tonight, you guys elaborate how you felt, if you think she, she's still pretty lippy with Rayna and Deacon, and how do you feel about her stance as a young girl? With her parents.
We've had some progress with Maddie. I don't want to discount that this season, but she still needs to get slapped.
She does. Well, like from a parental standpoint, like I get, yes, I totally agree. She has come a long way, and for most part, the thing is, she is still a teenager. She is young, but I think she's really testing Rayna's patience right now, because literally after what the whole last year was and the whole problem with cash and whatnot, it's like she's still not in the position to still be mouthing off to her mom after literally just crawling back with her tail tucked between her legs and still giving her attitude.
Yeah, the mouthing off, I can't get on board with, because I just feel like that did not happen in our household. And I feel like if she's so big, then you don't need to be living at home. If you're that big and grown up, have a job where you're paying for your own bills, you're not living in their beautiful house and like eating their food and doing all that. But if you are, then no, I think you need to take a few steps back for your parents and respect them.
Yeah, if mommy pays the bills, you better shut your mouth.
Yeah. My house, my rules, my life. What?
Thank you.
What? No, it's like, girl, honey, your life is still under Rayna's roof. So.
That's when the slap should have came in. And not that I condone abuse, but a little slap sometimes doesn't hurt anybody.
That's not abuse. That's chastising. That's parenting. That's what real parenting is. Yeah.
Agreed. We all agree on this one.
Nothing more.
Oh, so you still rooting for this relationship? How are you guys feeling on this one?
I'm not sure because it seems like Clay is kind of falling for Maddie and stuff, but I'm not sure if I just like it because it feels like Clay's not trying that hard, but Maddie feels like she's trying too hard to maybe try to prove to herself, hey, this relationship can work, even though there's so many things already against us. Maybe I think she's trying too hard and Clay isn't.
Yeah, I really like the Clay character. He's sort of a breath of fresh air, super talented. I love, his singing bits. I hate that we didn't really get much of that in this episode, but I don't really like this relationship because I don't think this is a good direction for Maddie. Like dating an older guy and again getting back into that rebellious mouthing off phase that it's like we kind of wanted you to get away from that.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Like, I actually really, when this relationship first started, I loved it, and I love him as a character, and but since it's bringing out this side back in her, I thought we might see a more grown up version of her. So I thought maybe this was going to be the step to have her not be acting like we saw before and have it be like, oh, okay, yes, okay, maybe we're going to be responsible, wait till you turn 18 and like see a growth in the relationship. But since we're not really getting that, then it's kind of just, again, bringing out some of those things that we didn't like to see before.
Yeah.
Because it's such a shame because he's such a nice guy, respectful to her parents, even though he's got his own issues. He's trying. I know in the chat, Sammy Lou is bringing up about him talking the 8 years ago made Deacon kind of question, maybe he's lying about his age. Maybe he's even older than he says. He was in a bar 8 years ago. Yeah.
That's true. I didn't even really think about that.
I don't know if he was, well, I mean, he'd be 16.
Yeah, and I
mean,
might really be lying about his age.
I don't think that I guess I didn't get that he's lying, but I get that he's been passionate about music from probably a really, really young age, So, I agree that it does make the difference between, his daughter and him at that time.
I just feel like Maddie wants this relationship more than what Clay is letting on.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is that maybe, how I interpreted Deacon's face was just sort of thinking about this guy's been into music and going to bars to listen to music for this long, and Maddie is just now 17. And two, even if he was her age, it's still like, wow.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, and it'd be different if she was like an old 17, but she's not.
Yeah.
So that's, I think...
But especially that even like from your late teens to your early 20s, a lot happens in life. It's like you get your first adult things, like your first drink, your first down payment on a car, like lease, or you get a lot of adult things first. And the fact that Clay has gone through this and Maddie hasn't yet just shows there's a big age gap.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. All right. Well, so another little love we have brewing, which I think you guys all called here. We have Scarlett now thinking that she likes Damien.
Scarlett is just the equivalent of a basic bitch, and I'm just so glad I finally get to say that on AfterBuzz because I've watched Nashville from the beginning. And first episode in, and this is because Jonathan Jackson is my childhood crush, I will admit.
Big soap fan here.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, this character, how is this a good girl? Like, she literally sleeps with every guy and just acts like she's so innocent, and I'm just like, no, you've tried to ruin Avery. Don't ruin this cute director, too. Gunnar's just a shell of a man at this point.
Okay, since you're the new voice on this panel, what are your thoughts of Damien, the director, though?
Yeah.
It's funny. I like Damien. I'm like,
what?
I'm like, I think that what he was doing was his job, like trying to get out of her. I mean, as entertainers ourselves, that's how directors are. They're trying to get that out of you. And it's just like, she was headed towards him. It's not like he's making this move out of nothing.
So you don't think he crossed any lines at all when he was directing her, like, as tough as he went?
It's tough.
I think so.
It was his job. Yeah.
No, I totally think so. We talked about it on that episode. Go back and watch that. I don't know. We called it, but I don't like it. I don't think it's gonna go long, or if anything happens out of it, I think, that might be early predictions.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
I have a prediction there. And Gunnar said it, too.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating that they're finally back together again, and even Scarlett's like, hey, I am with you. Nothing happened. Nothing's going to happen because he's gone. We're still a thing. We're still together. And the fact that maybe Gunnar is now the one who's kind of impatient about it or not understanding of it.
That's my thing with the storyline. It's like we said last week, they can't be happy for more than 2 minutes. It's like without one of them,
for more than 2 scenes.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think that's what's like, just make it be a little bit longer or something. It's just, I mean, she just says she's okay with the fact that the things that he had done in the past. I don't know, the relationship at this point for me, I was so for them, but at this point I'm like, if we're going to keep going back and forth to the step, then yeah, let's just call this off and move on, because clearly neither one of you are over the things that are happening, so you're just going to continue to sabotage the relationship. Because she was honest, but still that doesn't even I don't know. It doesn't make it any easier for Gunnar to swallow that, okay, yeah, you're honest, but it still means you're not in love with me.
I did like the fact that she like almost immediately told him that, hey, this is what I was feeling. But do you think she should have told him about the kiss?
You know, because that's the thing with Scarlett, is this is how I always see her character. She's always manipulating people. She's doing that because she's trying to get him to leave her. I mean, that's how I always see her. She always somehow has the upper hand because she manipulates by pretending to be innocent and pretending like she's done nothing wrong. But this whole that's why she always calls Gunnar out for the things you did in the past. And finally, he spoke up and said something. What about you? It's like, honey, you got a longer list than Gunnar on this show.
Yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate that's the only way they hurt each other, by bringing up their past. Is like, you did this to me. Oh, don't forget, you also did this to me. Come on, you're like, there's no progression with their relationship if they keep going backwards.
Yeah, and I love how Scarlett is the one to tell Gunnar to grow up. It's like, you're the most childlike person on the show, where Daphne and Maddie exist as well. And that's the thing, is Gunnar is a child too. That's why you guys are a toxic couple.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's true. They've both, I mean, she had to have a breakthrough that she had with the director, but I don't know. She's also... I don't know. I just also find her very immature in the fact that, so now she was like kind of manipulated by that situation to now like turn those feelings that, yes, it made her come out of her shell, and she's seen herself now as this like empowered woman. So now she's gonna go for him and not be with Gunnar, and like, I don't know.
It's very similar to when Liam was on the show, the producer, and like it's almost the same storyline.
Yeah.
And see, I loved him, and just like, I like Damien, but Sammy Lou and Sahara Joy did not agree in the chat. But yeah, that's the thing, is like, oh, you bring in these hot like foreign guys, and then and Scarlett's like inspired by them. It's like, honey, you already did this show once.
Like,
it's like, yeah, you know what you're doing at this point.
Yeah, but these texts from him.
Yeah, that's what they're bringing up.
And now it's a little too desperate when it's only like 2-word text, like, I need to see you, I'm still here, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you could have fit that all in one text, you know, not to be desperate in this 21st century world, but now
maybe
he's
he was driving.
desperate.
Yeah, and for me, the shift for him is too drastic, because I thought he was such an ass during the music video.
He is an ass.
Yeah, and it's like, I get like pushing people to their limits. I love coaches that do that. I love people that like do that for you, you know, because you need that sometimes. But I thought he definitely took it to an unprofessional level, and it was too much. So for me to try to get on board with, like, you know, this switch for them is too much for me with him.
Yeah, I like what Sammy Lou says here. Whether the director guy stays or goes, I think Scarlett needs to make up her mind, because I feel like that moment with Gunnar in the bed, it's just like she felt like she has to force herself. And that's the thing, is this is why I don't like Scarlett, is she always acts like she's a victim of her circumstance, and it's just like, put on your big girl panties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, even after their sex, she did not look happy. Like, she seemed conflicted. Like, I don't know if I should be with Gunnar or if I should try it out with Damien.
Right. I agree. I actually think Scarlett needs to be alone. I think she needs alone time. I think she needs to go to a great retreat, do something like for herself. Like, I just think she's a good, you know, I mean, she's young, she's going through things, but I think she just maybe should like take a time out.
No, they're gonna spend a lot of time together, because they're gonna go on a tour.
Yeah.
after this video. It's blowing up,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, and let's take that moment to do a little shout out to AfterBuzz in tonight's episode. Thank you so much, Nashville. That was awesome.
That was amazing.
So you have a little screen
we
grab
have
of it.
a picture. Go check it out on our, social media and AfterBuzz. We tweeted out the picture of when they were in the diner and they found out that their video had over 1 million views, and they're like, AfterBuzz is on the line. I'm like, what?
What? Us?
We were legitimately freaking out. So thank you, Nashville. Thank you, CMT. We love you.
Yeah, that
We
was
love the
awesome.
show.
We'll put you on the cover. We'll blast it out as much as we can tonight. Yeah. We've had such a great time covering the show for 5 seasons now.
5
So
seasons.
that was, you made our night.
Literally since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
Thank you.
All right.
We love you.
Yes. Okay. Anything else with Scarlett in that situation? I don't think so. Think we.
I don't know. I think we kind of know that she does like Damien, but will she do anything of it?
Oh, she will.
Will
It's
she
Scarlett.
act out on
All right.
this?
Hands up. Is she gonna sleep with him? Yes.
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 And then it's not
What
going
are
to
you
be her
in the
fault.
chat?
Yeah.
Gonna sleep with him?
guys.
What do we think, people?
Let
Raise
us
your
know.
hand.
Yeah.
Because, she's never been single for an episode on the show, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember now.
There's always a guy.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate,
Yeah.
though. But why leave Gunnar for Damien?
I know.
We know Damien can hurt her emotionally. Like that already. That's a doomed relationship.
Yeah, it's not gonna last. Yeah, but I think they're gonna break up, Scarlett and Gunnar, and I think she's gonna date this guy or sleep with him.
Okay.
All right.
I don't like it.
I don't either. All right. Well, let's talk about our favorite couple, Rayna and Deacon.
Aw, they're great. Like they have a deeper, darker, longer past than Gunnar and Scarlett. But I like the fact that because they are adults, at the end of it they can still make up and act like a marriage couple should, and they work out their issues.
Yeah, what I like about this episode, and they usually have paralleled them, is that Scarlett and Gunnar almost seem like a young version of Rayna and Deacon, and then it's good to see this young couple clearly dysfunctional, and this older, more mature couple actually deal with their problems and solve them. So it's like, you guys could do this, but you have to grow up. Yeah.
Well, they are kind of very similar because I think during this show we were also all kind of equally as frustrated with Rayna as we were with Scarlett at one point in their conversations tonight, feeling like Rayna, is still kind of doing the same things when she got mad at Deacon for wanting to write separately, which to me I did not think was a bad suggestion, because sometimes it is great to write separately and come back together. It's hard to write with somebody in the room all the time. So
Yeah, I think it was just completely unfair on Rayna's behalf to immediately think, oh, he's quitting. Like, no. Not once did he say quitting. He's saying, let's just take some breathing space so we can think of things on our own, brainstorm on our own, and come back together and collaborate again.
And did they not actually wind up doing Deacon's suggestion? That's what I like, is like Rayna didn't say, I was totally wrong, but she was. And I like how they didn't even have to say it, but it's like, oh, sometimes I'm wrong. Let's fix this.
Yeah. I just think it was just really unfair for Rayna to bring up the dark past. Every time something goes wrong, you immediately quit, and then it was just like a stab when it should not have been.
No.
I agree, and I feel like she's done that numerous times since we've watched. Like, she continually kind of goes back to his past as much as they're saying we're moving forward, and then she doesn't want him to do the things, but then she's the one always bringing it up, or always treating him like he's that same man he was back then when he's not doing those same things.
Yeah, kind of like Scarlett does.
And that's
the thing is, Rayna, you should know better. I get that you at least can own it a little bit, but just a little bit more would go a long way.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see she made the comment maybe everything worked out the way it was supposed to, because if we would have stayed together when we were younger, maybe we wouldn't be here now, which was kind of a nice contrast between Scarlett and Gunnar, because you're seeing them go through that now, that maybe they do need to break up now and let her figure out herself and
find themselves again.
Right, to find them to be later.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Timing. It's all about timing.
It is.
Yeah, chemistry and
is
timing.
everything.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
So did you like
Just
the song?
like the country
that they find?
strong song.
Yeah, I like the
Hurricane.
song. Hurricane. I was kind of wondering where they were going since it was the title of the episode, but I'm like, I can get behind this.
It was a little too on the
Yeah.
nose, but I totally loved the song. It was great. Their voices meld together so well. I did like their writing process, because it reminded me of another song Because at the beginning we saw Rayna was trying to think of just like the theme of the song, like missing, or I think it was Deacon also saying like the whole theme of how do you write missing someone even though like you feel like they're there when they're not, and just and there were certain lines that while the song they were talking about wind and shadows, I was like, have you heard of Lone Star's I'm Already There song? Yeah, and then it just reminded me of that song, so
Funny thing
I liked it though.
Yeah, funny thing about Lone Star, they're from the same place I am, Tyler, Texas.
I met them once, they're great. Yeah, but I mean, maybe pull inspiration from real country artists.
Yeah, no, I think they probably do. What else with those two?
Oh, we had that Gabe guy following them around.
Yeah.
And already violating their rules because they said, you can't film us in X, Y, and Z places. You can't film our children. And yet he interviews Daphne. Like, no, you're violating like the first rule that they put down. Like, nothing good can come of this video.
No, yeah, I agree. I'm really surprised that they agreed to this, because
I don't think they agreed. I think it was more so, it's already happening.
I mean, but they could say no,
Yeah.
Yeah, Rayna's kind of being like Scarlett in the making it kind of victim. Like, she could have said no to Zach, and he seems like someone who, if she told him no, he'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, she has the history, and I think she could put her foot down and be like, well, no, he could record when we're actually in the studio recording, fine, but not in the house and in the kids and.
No, privacy.
Yeah.
Also didn't agree with Zach's line when he's like, your album's not going to sell itself. I was like, a lot of albums do, actually, Zach, because that's what country music does.
Yeah, that is the thing, is country is actually one of the few things that still can sell itself. I mean, there's a lot of, not everybody can be Blake Shelton and be on The Voice, but they still sell a lot of albums. I mean, you look at Spotify, it's half rap, half country. I mean,
Yeah, country's huge.
Yeah.
And especially like with Rayna, she already has. It's not like she's a new artist,
following,
Yeah. So I kind of disagree with. I think he needs to do all that.
Yeah, I think that was just a line showing Zach's naivete about the country music. It was like, oh no, country music will sell itself. Don't worry.
So what do we think about him now after one more week of seeing him? Creeper, legitimate business guy. Does he have bad intentions, good intentions? What do you feel this week?
I've always thought that Zach might be behind the stalker. And it's funny, I like him, but I'm just like, there's just something creepy about him. And especially just how he sort of wants to rebrand Rayna and really, like, has a creepiness about how much he likes her as a fan. Yeah,
everyone's been speculating. I think it's, like, too obvious to think that he is the stalker. That's why I'm, like, still kind of hesitant to say that he is. I think he keeps throwing all these business things at Rayna. It's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say annoying, but it's kind of getting in the way of Rayna's creativity and actually allowing her to be an artist. It's more becoming business compared to the art, and that's why she started Highway 65, so she can do art. And I don't know, it's becoming more business now.
But it's also at the beginning of the season she talked about wanting to step away from the label so that she could get back to the art side of it.
Exactly.
And now she's actually throwing her, by pairing with him, she's not doing that.
It's back to business again. I don't know. I still don't like it. I don't.
What do you want, Rayna?
Yeah, and I'm still with you. From the beginning, I thought there was something really creepy about him, and I can't put my finger on it, but I think there's something related with it too. I thought he was going to be the stalker to begin with before we see this other guy come in, but I think there's just still something kind of weird about it. He just wants to get too close to me. I don't like it.
The actual stalker looks really creepy though.
Yeah,
that's a good casting on that part. But I liked their date though. Their date night, trying to ditch Jean and try to regain some of their inspiration. Like go to all their places where they were the most romantic. Like when they went to where Deacon proposed. I enjoyed that. And then they're bowling. That was fun. Bowling.
Best. It's the
Love
best.
bowling so much.
Yeah.
It was cute though because we needed a night between those two.
Yeah, their moments together still are so great. I mean, even just sitting on the couch, just like you just love to see it when they're together and they're happy and they're just the best couple.
The song sounded awesome though. them recording it. I love the music crescendo in it. Like, yes, I totally buy that song on iTunes.
And then the little video that they play, like on top of it, that image of them, the light video.
That was like the flashback between like Rayna, because while she's writing, she's doing all these, thinking back on memories of them having a hard time. But it's more so like, even though they fought a lot in their past, at the end they always still did make up. And I think that flash was like, they've been through a lot, but they're still together. I enjoy it.
Yay!
I enjoy it.
Love it. All right, anything else with this episode?
It was so sad not to see Avery and Juliette. And there was actually a lot of comments in the chat, like Sarah Joy brought up, they really miss Juliette. Every episode without her reminds me that Scarlett is not strong enough to carry her own episode. And I agree. It's just, because as I say, they're the most functional couple at this point, is the two of them.
It's ironic.
Yeah, I agree. We felt the same thing. And when we discussed after the show, we're like, it really was. You miss an energy when you don't have Juliette in there.
I love her.
Even now that her character is like, more subdued with what she's going through, there's still this like, she's still always got that fire in there, like something, right, that is really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think Sammy Lou in the chat here hits it on the nose. It's like, most of the female characters on this show, except Juliette, in my opinion, are completely man-dependent. And I think that's why a lot of us just like and identify with Juliette, because she's done a lot of this on her own. And it's really cool to see how, but it's nice to see her let Avery take care of her now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's nice. But can we see it?
Yes.
Like, can we at least get like one scene just to check in? Where are they at?
Yeah.
Is she walking? I mean, she's kind of walking again, but like, is she fully walking without those, canes?
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't get any nugget of it. That's interesting. I wonder what the shooting schedule or something on that one this week. I
don't know. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of Juliette in the next episode, and like little of Deacon and Rayna or some other couple. So it feels like if one leaves, and we'll get another one. It's just that whole balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes when stuff switches to cable, the schedules and stuff may not line up. So there'll be like 2 episodes of just like, hey, we're gonna focus on these characters or those. So I would assume it's just that. Yeah.
All right. Well, since we kind of started talking about what we might see from her next week, let's get into some predictions.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. With Maddie, I think she is going to be fed up with Rayna over this, and she's going to move in with Clay.
Oh.
Yeah, I see it coming.
I see that coming too, because they already kind of dropped some hints about, you still live with your parents.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Or I could just stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's going to move in with Clay. And Deacon and Rayna are not going to be happy about it. Oh, I would hate to. It's so. Television shows do this so often, like a pregnancy scare, but I hate to see Maddie go through that. That would be terrible.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either.
And hopefully the stalker story will finally end. Well, they'll come to a conclusion, do something with him.
Something, yeah. So we saw scenes with Juliette having a little problems getting the album going, it looks like, next week. Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, I called the gospel album.
Yeah.
I totally called that. I don't see why not. She has the following, she has the voice, she has the passion to do it. Like, let her turn over this new leaf in her life, and just let her do a damn gospel album.
Yeah, and that was the thing. That was my favorite part of the episode before this, is how she just went in with Avery owning it. Everyone, like their TMZ and stuff, was making fun of her for doing this, and it's just like, this is why I like Juliette. She's just going to own it, and she believes in this, and she's going to do it. Be damned if nobody else likes it.
But the thing is, is like, she's not the first Caucasian person to have a successful gospel album.
No.
Like, there's so many people I can think of. Like, Amy Grant is like super successful in gospel, but it's like there's so many female artists who actually have successful gospel albums. Let her do one.
And I felt like the church was so accepting of her coming in there. So now for this woman to have an issue with it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe that'll allow like Juliette to be like, all right, then how about you do backup vocals on mine?
Well, that's what I thought was gonna happen. I envisioned like she would do it, but that like the church choir and everybody would be all on the album. Like,
Some
they'd be the whole
collaboration.
community. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
that's
think
what
for
I
that.
thought.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Yeah. Your thoughts?
All right. Wow. What else have you guys touched on?
Yeah, we did get some answers. The chat's pretty well divided on Scarlett sleeping with Damien. So, about half and half on will she or won't she. But I think it'll happen.
I'm gonna say yes too.
Yeah, I think I'll have.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand firm on that one. I think that they're over for. They're gonna take a break.
And the
They're gonna
exes
figure
are
out themselves
exes
it.
once again.
Yes.
It's terrible.
They need a new name too when they get back together in 2 more weeks.
But it works for them because
I
technically they could be
know.
exes again.
They're always X's. Like, it was cute when Avery was in it and it was the triple X's.
Yeah,
And then it was just like, now it's just weird.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for tonight, right? Anything
Yeah.
else? Okay. Where can they follow you guys at throughout all week long?
You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
You can find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
And you guys can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter and JJ.Jurgens on Instagram. Thanks so much, guys. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Happy
We're a little out,
Valentine's Day.
but
Thanks
we're
for
getting
filling
the
in there,
spirit.
Tricia.
Yeah,
No problem.
thanks for
Thank
filling
you.
in. And we'll see you again next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.